I'm Cody from Game Life Balance US, a proud member of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the one you're listening to now. The opinions expressed are those of each individual. Check out all the other geeky podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com and get ready because geekiness begins in 3, 2, 1.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy, brought to you by the Gonna Geek Network. Bringing you the latest nerdy news and geekdom, here are the hosts of the show, Anthony.
No pants, all bacon and dick butts.
Naki.
Anthony, you need to get laid.
Willie.
I don't need boobs to like a movie.
Chris.
So when Chris doesn't know how to transition to a new topic because he's flustered, he just hits the button on the soundboard.
And sometimes some special guests.
As Magneto once said, "Ha ha ha, welcome to die."
If you're a kid and listening, you rock and your parents are awful.
A brand new ATGN starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, we're back, and when we start on time, only half the cast is here, so go
We
team!
did it!
Yeah, it's like a flashback to many, many years ago.
It wasn't that many years ago, was it?
Well, the show's been on the air for over 4 years now.
Oh, shit. Well, we tried.
It was 4 years in April.
Oh, that's true. So, yeah, shit. We've been around
Hence
for a while.
how we're over 200 episodes.
Yeah, I know. It's just, it's weird to think about because it's like, man, I've been doing this for 4 years now.
This is my legacy, and I don't know if I'm cool with it. No, I'm joking.
Well, if I ever decide to have children, which, you know, if I ever decide that that's a thing, they're going to listen to their mother say dick on the internet a whole lot.
A whole lot. I've been told Naki does say dicks a lot on the internet.
Yeah. Well, they'll call me mom. Maybe they won't realize that Naki is me. Dicks, 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 dicks.
Shut up, Naki. Just as a flashback. You mentioned it. It had to be done. Sorry.
I was going to ask because I'm playing catch up still on all my podcasts. Did you guys use the soundboard in my place last week?
So we did not. You missed all the entertainment where the random prank happened in my community where I actually left for 10 minutes and went to go take photos of it and then put said photos up in the middle of the broadcast.
Oh yeah, I got the pictures of the photo, or because you sent it to me, and I was just like,
That's
"Yep,
right.
now you know where the dickheads are."
You can go to bit.ly/ATG and Ramrod if you want to see that for yourself.
Sounds like a good time. I think we have our Anthony has shown up. Ah,
Allegedly.
That could just be a soundboard.
You never know.
I don't have a soundboard for him yet.
Slacking, Chris.
Yes. So I guess I should take this time and say welcome everyone to episode 209 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast, recorded live on Sunday, May 8th, 2016. And if you go to geeks.live right now where you can watch us live, there are actually 2 shows going on right now. There is a special edition of Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. that started an hour ago where they are going in spoiler depth on Captain America Civil War. So hopefully if you're watching Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., you'll just hop on over to All Things Good and Nerdy when they wrap up.
Which is actually where Anthony was.
Because they're stealing our time slot.
They need to quit trying to steal our time slot because it's not nice.
You hear that, guys? Stop stealing our time slot. We chose this terrible time slot on purpose so that nobody else...
4 years ago. 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
4
Yeah,
years we have this time slot.
We called dibs.
And 4 years ago. I don't know. I got nothing. But if you are watching that live, hop on over. Watch some All Things Good and Nerdy.
We'll talk about dicks.
Well, there might be less dick talk this week. I think we kind of broke that out of our system last week.
I wasn't there.
Don't make assumptions. Don't make assumptions, Chris.
I assumed that we had. How about that?
Maybe Naki would like some dick talk. Jeez.
I like talking about dicks. Dicks are fun.
There's your new clip for your soundboard, Chris. You're welcome.
That's at the 4 minute and 49 second mark.
See, I wasn't late. I arrived just in motherfucking time.
Are you like a wizard?
Damn right.
You're a wizard,
Motherfucking
Anthony.
sorcerer.
I don't... my pink mustache is missing, but I have this.
Is that a euphemism? No,
oh wait,
that
no,
is...
I have a pink mustache. I found it. It matches my hair, so I freak people out at work because I was just like, I was peeking around corners going, yes.
So I guess we should mention at this point in time for the 90% of you that consume the podcast as audio that Naki has a literal pink mustache that is taped to a wooden dowel so she can hold it up to her lips.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm just gonna do this. I'll podcast. I'm gonna be a pink mustachioed lady.
All right,
I am
then.
the lady variety.
That's what I'm told.
Yeah. It's overrated.
So if you're watching live right now, you can see that myself, Anthony, and Naki are here. Willie should be joining us later. He said he was going to hop on as soon as he was able to. Perhaps he just had a little too much fun at Free Comic Book Day yesterday, because I know he lined up at like 6 a.m.
I missed Free Comic Book Day yesterday. I'm the worst.
I did not, but we can touch on that once we get into the news of the week.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
That's right, awesome people. It's that part of the show where we talk about what we think is the best news of the week. And I just looked at the show notes, and I have to say, I really kind of want Willie to sign in later because all he put for his news of the week was doing dumb things. And I'm intrigued. I'm assuming he means doing the podcast, but I'm not 100% sure.
No, this isn't a dumb thing. This is just a for funsies thing that sometimes happens to be dumb.
Agreed.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, news of the week. Before we get into that, though, Free Comic Book Day was yesterday. I know Naki didn't make it out. Anthony, did you get out for Free Comic Book Day?
Always. I am a true geek, unlike some of you slackers.
Are you saying that people who don't read comic books are not true geeks?
They're not true comic book geeks.
Are you saying Naki is a fake geek girl? Because that's not
No,
true.
I'm not saying Naki is a fake geek girl.
I will punch you in the nards, and then I'll rub the fact that I won Star Wars Day in your face. Bitch.
She's a
And I was the only
Cylon. How can
girl.
she be a fake geek girl?
I know, right?
And I was the only girl, too, which I was just like, and there's another girl in the audience who kept answering all the questions. I'm like, God damn it, why didn't you join? She was like, I didn't find out till too late. I was like, aw. She
Bruce
would
Lee
beat my
comic book,
ass.
people. Bruce Lee comic book. How fucking awesome is that?
Pretty awesome.
I did not get that for myself, but it looked pretty cool.
Bruce Lee, Serenity. I picked up the Archie just because the artwork's awesome.
With Fiona Staples, you had to do it.
And they did Dark with Monster Elementary was in this one. And then I grabbed the Doctor Who one for reference shots.
That
Yay.
my local shop had some of last year's books, so the girlfriend instructed me to go get her the Doctor Who book, and they had last year's Doctor Who book, so that had to be done. And then my other primary pickups was Archie because it's Mark Waid and Fiona Staples, and I actually read it, and I was like, I could be interested in reading some of these back issues. I then got the Captain America and Spider-Man Marvel book, and I'm
Nice.
intrigued.
Yeah, I also got the Civil War one around here somewhere.
Yeah, I did that also.
I already
So
read that one.
after reading the new Steve Rogers Captain America book, I decided I would add that to my pull list because it was interesting, and I'm very curious to see where they go with it. And of course, I'm going to stick with Amazing Spider-Man because they set up the Dead No More arc at the end of that book, and while I'm not
Nice.
sure I like where they're going with it, it's Dan Slott, and I believe in him now.
Yeah. Dan Slott is my new Joss Whedon. He can do no wrong.
Now that we're away from Spider-Rock, I'm much better with the property.
Oh,
I like Spider-Rock.
but Ock's coming back, baby.
I know
Ock's
Ock's
coming
coming
back.
I mean, I have seen the promotional artwork for Dead No More. And I also did read the Civil War 2. Was it a preview? Is it a zero issue? I'm not sure.
I think it was kind of a preview, yeah, with Captain Marvel and the kid that can tell the future and they attack Thanos.
Yes, and War Machine's there as well. And
Yeah, with War
Makes me
Machine. Yeah, I
think
think it was a preview basically of what's going to happen at the start of Civil War.
okay, well, it looks gorgeous, needless to say. And I had a lull because they did stuff to War Machine. I'm like, this is becoming a trend, and I had a good laugh. But that's all I'm going to say on that one. Oh, and I saw a little thing called Civil War the other day too, but we will talk about that later. And in typical manner on this show, the first week a movie is out, we will not go into the spoilers on it. Just general.
Damn it!
I also saw it this weekend. I saw something the weekend it came out, guys. Look at me.
The first time we all fucking see something, we should spoil it just for that, just to celebrate that we all finally
This
saw
isn't
something
the
on the
first
opening
time.
weekend.
This isn't the first time.
time.
It's few and far between.
It is few and far between, but it's
We
not the
gotta
first.
We got to stick to the brand here, guys, and the brand is we don't spoil the first weekend things come out.
Also, it's
next
just
week
not
I'm going to
fair.
read them the script.
That could take more than an hour.
I'll read fast.
Read fast. So I guess now that we've got past the free comic book news, we should get to the actual news, and I will start things off first. And you might be wondering, why hasn't Supergirl Season 2 gotten renewed, or Supergirl gotten renewed for Season 2, rather? Well, it's all coming down to money between Warner Brothers and CBS. The fact it costs $3 million an episode to make Supergirl is kind of a sticking point between the two sides. So here's where the rumors come in. Rumors are they're going to cut the budget by moving up to Vancouver and potentially filming in the same area where Flash and Arrow also film, and the show might end up moving to the CW. But if we get Season 2, I'm all on board for it.
As long as they don't change their creative team, I don't care where they shoot or what network they're on.
I haven't watched it yet.
So I will completely admit that
You
Supergirl
should,
started
Naki.
out a little rough for me. I didn't really get into it. And then I was probably 5 episodes behind when they said, hey, The Flash is coming. And I said, okay, I'm going to get caught up. And it gets much better after the first 5-6 episodes. They start to find their way. And the back half of the season is really good, actually. It's a solid television show. And they left on a cliffhanger, sort of. They wrapped everything up for Season 1 and then introduced a cliffhanger within the last 2 minutes of the show to set up Season 2. So it could theoretically end now and not be the end of the world, but I want to see more of this world. And I want more potential crossovers with Flash and Arrow.
And Naki, you don't like Dark Man of Steel, Zack Snyder, Bro Superman, right?
No.
Then you should watch Supergirl.
That's what I'm told, and I've been spoiled on Batman vs. Superman, so you guys can talk whatever you want about it. I still don't particularly... So, after Civil War, and boyfriend and I were walking out of the theater, and we were talking about it, and we were like, you know, why don't we like the DC movies? And he's like, but I still like the DC shows. I'm like, well, that's because Flash and Supergirl are colorful. I can't say that about Arrow, but I can say it for Flash and Supergirl. And
Arrow does have heart, though, like the other two. It's a dark version, but even then, Arrow has more heart than fucking Man of Steel.
Arrow is still Batman.
Anthony, a wet fart has more heart than Man of Steel.
I can't really argue with you, Chris.
That's not wrong.
I'm sorry, was that too blunt that I equated Man of Steel to a wet fart?
A little bit. It's a bit much.
No, it's not. No, I agree with that
I
statement.
left that in there because I expect SP to put that on Clamor later because we know how much he loves Man of Steel.
Everybody loves Man of Steel. Who doesn't love Man of Steel? Oh, wait.
Stephen John Drew loves Man of Steel.
So, it was funny. I walked downstairs and my dad was watching the Brandon Routh Superman movie, and I was like, oh, this one wasn't too bad except for the script. And
That's a ringing endorsement if I've ever heard one.
And
it's
then
it's the Bryan Singer ode to fucking Richard Donner. It wasn't really a movie. It was a huge love letter.
and then boyfriend walked into the house and he goes, "Oh man, I love this movie," and my dad bust out laughing.
Nice. There are some really good parts to Superman Returns, especially by comparison to Man of Steel.
It's bright and it's colorful and it's still like a Superman movie. It sucked. It wasn't good, but it was still a Superman movie. Whereas Man of Steel is like Batman with alien powers.
It's disaster porn, and I'm not going to go on this rant again.
Yeah,
Let's tie it up this way by saying if you want to understand why it's not that great, we've talked about it in past episodes, and also go and look for the interviews with Zack Snyder that are floating the internet right now, around the internet right now, from 2008, 2009, where he talks about where conventional superheroes don't really work for him because there's not enough violence and there's not rape and things like that. And that was ridiculous.
Again with the rape.
Man of Steel.
Yeah, and his analogy he made was, he goes, Batman Begins was really good. He goes, but Bruce should have gotten raped in prison or something to that effect. And I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember.
Wait, did he actually say that?
It said something to that effect. I will go and try and find the story, and we can come back to it if someone else wants to take their news of the week.
I mean, I know the dude's got mental problems, but damn.
It's People wonder why I don't like Zack Snyder. I'm like, because it's like reading Alan Moore. It's fucking rape every single turn. It's ridiculous. It's so guess what, guys? I know this is like hard to hear, but there's more traumatic things in life than rape.
Okay.
And we don't have to keep using rape as a story thing.
So,
oh, I lost my penguin.
so that I don't get accused of misquoting, let me go and take the exact quote. I'm pulling this from a Screen Crush article that is referenced in an interview. He goes, "Everyone says that Nolan's Batman Begins, Batman is dark." I'm like, okay, no, Batman's cool. He gets to go to a Tibetan monastery and be trained by ninjas. Okay, I want to do that. But he doesn't, like, get raped in prison. That could happen in my movie. If you want to talk about dark, and that's how I would go.
Fuck you, Zack Snyder.
Yeah, I'll put it this way: Zack Snyder makes beautiful films. That you cannot deny. But I don't think he should be a director. He should be like the director of photography, where he's basically just in charge of the camera.
So if you believe some of the rumors that are going around, his influence is being minimized more and more in the DC movie universe. I don't know if you guys had seen, Ben Affleck is now an executive producer on Justice League. Supposedly, Ben Affleck was also very unhappy with the reception that Batman v Superman got because he kept telling everyone it's better than Daredevil. And if you go and look at the Rotten Tomatoes scores, I'm pretty sure Daredevil's ahead of it.
I just want to know, why did I come into all this rape talk?
We saved it just for you, Willie.
Just poor timing, man.
In Affleck's defense, the Batman parts of Batman v Superman are better than the movie Daredevil.
So I think Suncast nailed it. He goes, every Zack Snyder movie has left me asking, WTF did I just watch?
I mean, really.
I wouldn't say that for 300 or Watchmen.
I don't like Watchmen, but I like 300.
I like both of them because at the end of it you say, oh, I just saw that comic book put on a screen. Like, that's it. That's all he did.
Well, sort of. But, I mean, with Watchmen, you still got the rape. But that's because it's hand in hand in Alan Moore. And guess what? They both love rapes for some reason.
There you go.
And then,
yeah, that was in the comic, so.
And then there's, Sucker Punch. What the fuck was that?
That's just rape porn. Like, that's all sorts of... I can't defend Sucker Punch, even though it's really pretty.
Again, he should, I completely agree that he should be in the art side of it, like cinematography or director of photography or, CGI, one of those things. Sure, fine. I'm fine with Zack Snyder on that end. He cannot be a director. He cannot be a writer. He cannot... No. Stay away from my superheroes.
Warning! You are now entering Super Dick Mode!
Do you need that?
Get him, Naki.
In all seriousness, I didn't mean to take us that far down the path. It kind of happened. Let's button it back up by going back to the main topic. Supergirl Season 2, more likely with budget cuts, which comes with moving up to Vancouver and potentially moving to the CW, where getting 8 million viewers would be awesome, because the 8.5 million viewers coming in on CBS is middling. And if you go and look at the ratings on CW, they're much lower. So even if they kept half of that, that would be huge on the CW.
Well, and they already meet all the CW prerequisites. That cast is just pretty as hell.
Well, if you look at almost all of the CW shows, and, well, yeah, they all are pretty. That's how Smallville stayed around for so long.
They should have brought on Constantine into the CW then.
Yep.
Has everyone watched Arrow this last week?
No.
Nope.
Never mind. They had an opportunity to use Constantine and they didn't. It bummed me out. I'll just leave it at that.
Well, that's the thing, is that,
he got a reference. They at least referenced him.
I think NBC, from the beginning, I think NBC was the wrong company to take on Constantine, or wrong channel to take on Constantine. It's just, while I think if it would have been on CW, it would have been more teen angsty. It should have been, NBC, that's not its crowd. Constantine is not an NBC crowd.
Here's why I thought it made sense where they put it. They paired it with Grimm, and Grimm is a show about supernatural dark stuff. So that 1-2 punch should have been very good.
Yeah, I got to give NBC credit because they at least tried, and I think on CW, Constantine would have been an awful show.
They didn't try, though, because they didn't advertise it.
Well, the people making the show tried. I'm not saying the executives tried to actually back it, but the people making the show made a really good version of Constantine for television with what they were allowed to do.
That's
that
not
I
really
completely
fair,
agree.
though, either. They did advertise the hell out of it for the first half of the season.
Yeah, I mean they did, but at the same time they didn't really do. I don't know how to say this
I saw
correctly.
a lot more advertisement for that End of the World show that they did, where the power turned off, than I did Constantine.
I didn't know about Constantine until 2 weeks after it started.
Did you not see any Comic-Con coverage that year?
Because
one of the hottest trailers coming out of there was Constantine.
Naki also doesn't watch TV live, so that's true.
I really don't. But
That's
I
also
mean,
true.
There's okay, so I knew about that, but then I went into like that black hole before the show started, where you were like, wait, where did it happen to it? And then it does, and then it's supposed to be, and then like I started seeing stuff like in my comic book, but I never really saw the advertisements like I did, like what Anthony was saying, the Blackout show, whatever it was called. Like
Which is funny because that was added everywhere, and I can't remember what it was called.
Right.
Revolution.
Thank you. But
There
I
you
mean, but a lot of their shows, like they continue to advertise throughout the season, whereas I didn't see that with Constantine or Hannibal. Again, another show that I loved that NBC canceled prematurely.
Well, it got 3 seasons, didn't it? I mean,
it didn't wrap though. It was supposed to. Like you could tell by the end of season 3, they still had a lot to do. But
okay, sometimes that's partially on the writing staff and stuff too. If ratings are going down and you're seeing that a show might not get another one next season, you kind of have to try and wrap things up. That's not, you can blame NBC in part, but they also gave a show that no one expected to get a chance 3 seasons.
True. I mean,
which is one of the most violent things ever put on primetime television.
If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. It is a really good show.
Yeah,
but
don't get me wrong, I'm no fan of NBC. Remember, I love Community, and Community got mistreated terribly by NBC. I'm just trying to be a little more fair. Well,
I mean, I get where they're coming from, but at the same time, like, I don't like Grimm, so because I've attempted to watch it and I couldn't get into it. It's not for me. So, I mean, I guess I don't understand that whole show follow-up thing, and I suppose that like a lot of people like just sit and watch TV, whereas I watch my show and then I go away. So if you sit and watch TV, yeah, the Grimm Constantine 1-2 punch, that would totally work. But I don't know how people watch TV, and I've never really studied it, so I don't really know.
That's a separate argument. In today's world, the younger generation, I guess technically we are considered millennials, all of us, but Anthony on here, which kind of bums me out. I know you were luckily are not.
You call me a fucking millennial.
The thing is, millennials more and more watch their TV time shifted or on their phones or their tablets. They don't have conventional cable to do it. They go online or they stream it or they time shift, things like that. So traditional models like that we're not going to see. And if you're someone like me, in all honesty, I don't watch a damn commercial. Even if I watch a show live, it's 15 minutes behind because I'll let it queue up for 15 minutes before I hit play, because I'll be damned if I'm watching dumb commercials on the CW.
They only play 3 commercials per show anyways. It's
Vampire Diaries, the Beauty and the Beast crap, the 100, which I've heard is good, which I might actually watch, and then random tampon ads and things like that confuse me.
I might actually start watching The Expanse, which is one that I keep hearing about.
SP loves The Expanse. I watched the first 3 episodes, and I liked it. I just fell behind on it, so I'll probably get to it at some point. A show I actually did start watching, and this is something that might interest folks. It's a 6-part miniseries on AMC. It's called The Night Manager.
I heard about that.
It's Tom Hiddleston and Hugh Laurie as the main characters. And
yes, that was why I heard about it.
Kind of an intrigue/thriller kind of thing. I finished the first episode, and about 20 minutes into episode 2, it is really good. They're only they've done the first 3 episodes out of the 6-part mini. I would say go and check it out. It's on demand for most people, so you can get caught up there. Very, very good.
I might wait till it's complete.
Is it streaming on any services like Amazon, Hulu?
Probably not yet. I will take a look and see. And for those that don't know, here's a pro tip for you. If you're trying to find out whether something streams somewhere, there is a great website called canistream.it. So go and check that out. And I will look right now if someone else wants to move on with their news.
I'll take my news because this week was Star Wars week. Yay! Or Star Wars Day during the week. It was on Wednesday because it was May the 4th, and then Thursday was Revenge of the 5th, and I won Star Wars trivia. Haha, suckers. And so
I just call it Geek Week.
yeah, it was a good week, and yeah, my winning question, which was actually like really easy compared to some of the other questions, but my winning question was who took Han Solo, and I was like Boba Fett, and they're like, "Yay, you win!" I was like,
So who took him where? Took him to dinner? What?
Dinner in
Be
a
more
show.
specific, people.
It was written, the whole Jeopardy thing was written kind of weird, but it was fun. It went. I got paid for an hour and a half of Star Wars trivia, so whatever.
Sweet.
Anyway, so my news of the week is that we got young Han Solo.
YOLO.
No YOLOs.
Not at all.
Young Han Solo has been cast, and he may debut in Rogue One. So his name is Alden Ehrenreich.
Aaron Reich, I think.
And he will most likely, it's not confirmed, make his debut via cameo appearance in Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. It has not yet been confirmed, but that's what's looking like. So I'm looking at a side-by-side comparison, and I'll screen share this, of young Harrison Ford and this dude. And they do not have the same face shape. But if we learned anything from Civil War, that doesn't mean that you cannot be photoshopped. So,
So the interesting thing for me is I have not seen any of these things that he is in. If you go to his IMDb, I'll pull that up and share it with you guys.
He does not look familiar to me, so I don't even know.
Yep. So here's his IMDb up on screen for folks. Now, none of these movies do I recognize. I think the only thing that I vaguely remember the title of is this Beautiful Creatures thing, and I don't even know what that is.
It is a flop. So you got
Wasn't it? It was like another version of The Craft, wasn't it? It was like a
Something like
chick getting superpowers.
Yep.
Yeah. See, I thought it was a remake of Beautiful Creatures, which was an 80s movie, I believe, about twins who like create their own world and then somehow like make it real, and then they kill a lot of people because they think they're in a fake world, but it's actually a real world. And
evidently, IMDb is upset because he's 5 inches shorter than Harrison Ford.
That I don't care about that. I
don't either. I'm just pointing that out because people are going to find stuff to bitch about. Oh, that's what he was in that I vaguely remember. The Coen brothers did that Hail Caesar movie. He was in that.
I did not see that movie.
I didn't see it either.
I haven't seen it.
I mean, come on. People complain about 5 inches all the time. Look at porn.
People say that about Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, though, too, is that he's too small.
I mean,
too tall.
big.
Too tall, sorry. And then there's, what's his name? Tom Hardy being Mini Bane. So, I mean, that is what it is.
And there's Tom Cruise, who always wears lifts so he can look like he's tall. I mean, they could do that with young Han Solo, I suppose.
Wait,
you're also going to have to make Chewbacca.
Wait,
you're going to make Chewbacca 5 inches shorter, too.
I have to wear lifts all the time because I'm short.
What do you mean mini Bane?
Tom
Bane.
Hardy was a very small Bane.
Yeah, Tom Hardy's like 6 foot at best, I think.
Oh, because they weren't going with the whole muscular El Luchador.
He was still muscular as hell. He just wasn't a giant Kelly Jones supervillain.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember, Tom Hardy is 5'9", according to Wikipedia.
Holy
Yeah.
shnikes.
Tom Hardy's not as big as I am. He's tiny.
You all are giants. The
And?
end.
That's true.
He's taller than me.
Don't make me come over there and pick you up, Naki.
Not again. Get away from me.
So
He did it twice during Chicago. He picked me up twice. It's
before
terrifying.
we move on to the next news story, I did say I would come back to the Night Manager. Willie was wondering if it was streaming. You can digitally purchase it for $1.99 an episode on Google Play, Apple, or on Vudu. It is not available to stream on any of those sites. I would assume if you have Comcast cable, it is on demand, though.
Ha! Paying for it. Nah.
But if it is on AMC, more than likely it'll be on Netflix.
Eventually. Well, no, their deal's with Hulu now.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Ooh.
never mind. Just kidding. Forget everything I said.
For
Already
Nothing but
did.
ninjas over here.
Wait, what's that
AMC?
deal with Hulu?
AMC's new deal is supposedly with Hulu in order to have the back catalogs, like Walking Dead and things like that, will eventually be going to Hulu, is my understanding.
So they're not going to be like day after streaming?
I doubt that.
Damn.
It's just the back catalog.
Damn.
Although it does look like you might be able to stream episode 1 of The Night Manager for free off AMC's website. I don't know about 2 and 3.
I just saw that Better Call Saul is on Netflix, and I'm kind of excited because I haven't watched any of that, so I could probably play catch up.
So I have to tell you, Better Call Saul Season 1 was great. Season 2 was even better.
Okay. Well, I mean, that was kind of the thing with Breaking Bad, was that Season 1 was good, then Season 2 was where it really started to pick up. So, I mean, I'm not surprised by that.
It is very good. Wow, Bob Odenkirk and Michael McKean are fantastic in that show. And, of course, Jonathan Banks, who plays Brain Fart. Why'd I lose his name all of a sudden?
He plays Brain Fart?
No, I forgot. What? Mike Ehrmantraut.
He plays Mike, right?
Yeah. I had a complete and utter brain fart. And
he's
forgot what I was
awesome.
talking about.
That dude
I
is
adore
such a
Breaking
good actor.
Bad, so I can now watch Better Call Saul and not feel bad.
Oh,
Did
you
they
could
say
have
how many? Oh, I
Sorry?
know. Did they say how many seasons that one's getting, or is that one an open-ended like Breaking?
Beats me. They're probably going to get as many as they want because the ratings are stellar.
Yeah, that was a show that I meant to start watching from the beginning, and then I'm just bad. I'm bad at this game. But the only show I'm kept up with really well with is Game of Thrones. Go me, I got that going for me.
I don't care about Game of Thrones, I'll be honest.
It's season 1 is season 1, and then season 2 is much better.
Meh.
What about the other HBO show, Silicon Valley?
Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley was really good.
No. In true ATG fashion, we have to talk about the Rock show on HBO called
Ballers!
And you need to be watching Ballers if you're not watching it, because it is ridiculous, over the top, and entertaining.
Speaking of The Rock, I got The Rock's alarm clock.
The Rock clock.
I got The Rock clock, and holy God, it's amazing. Like, I enjoy, so you can, there's 25 different ringtones that you can have for your alarm clock. I set mine to old school, which is him yelling, "If you smell!"
Yeah, Willie, if you didn't know, over the last week, a couple 100 million women have started waking up to The Rock's voice.
Yeah.
Lucky them.
Because he put out an app that's his voice as an alarm clock.
And how many men?
Probably quite a fucking few.
2 of my coworkers who are gentlemen.
It is a free download if anyone wants it. The trade-off is, in order for the alarm to work, you have to be on that app when your phone goes to sleep. Oh, really? See, the reviews I'd read said that, so I apologize. I misspoke.
No, they updated it, so you no longer have to be on it. They do have what's called the sleep. Hang on, I'll pull it up.
So I have the Rock clock loading on my phone right now so that we can talk about this.
It is one of my home screens. So you can put it into what's called sleep mode. It's down here at the bottom of the screen, and it'll just sit here like that. But you can also, so you can then cancel out sleep mode. You can wake up with, oops, I hit the button. Sorry. You can wake up with The Rock. It's called Rock Time. His rock time for tomorrow is 5 a.m. But sometimes it's like 3:45 or 4:45. These 2 are mine. And then you could set up your sounds. So like the classic alarm is beep, 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 beep.
I can do this all morning. Beep,
beep,
beep.
I do want to know, whose idea was this?
The Rock.
The Rock's.
Every woman that can't wake up next to The Rock.
So
that's
no
whose
one
idea
went to
this
The
was.
Rock said, "Hey, I have this idea for an alarm clock." It's you.
The best one is Good Morning Sunshine.
Yes, I love Good Morning Sunshine.
Is that the one where he sings?
Can I play it?
If you want to play it, go ahead.
But fair use.
This is on an app. We're good. We're talking about the app.
We're reviewing the app. I don't think The Rock would mind.
Yeah, that's what The Rock just said. Open your eyes up. Get your candy ass out of bed.
so that we are completely being fair on this, it is a pretty cool app. You can set goals that are monitored through there, and I guess supposedly The Rock monitors some of these goals and does like daily messages where he might talk to some of the users that have set goals. It's a pretty cool way for him to reach out to his fans and be connected with them. So go check out The Rock Clock.
So,
He has responded to some people on Instagram already.
So if you have this app, when he wakes you up, after you hit that you're awake, because there's no snooze button. There's no snooze button on this app. You should know this. After you hit the button that you're awake, a video plays, and sometimes it's him saying good morning, or sometimes it's personalized, or not necessarily personalized, but just like get up, or sometimes it's just a picture of him saying like rise hard, grind hard. This was okay. So this one's my wake up call.
This is Dwayne Johnson, and I've approved this message.
Nice. The presidential rock.
It's just a bit stalkerish that you can wake up the same time The Rock is waking up.
I like it though, because on the ad, as he describes it, he says, I added a feature where you can wake up at the same time as I do, but I don't think you're ready for that, jabroni.
Yeah.
He actually wrote that in the fucking text.
Does that account for time zones, or is it just...
They do account for time zones, so you don't have to wake... So if he's waking up at 3:45 a.m., like in California,
Hawaii.
in Hawaii, you don't have to wake up at, what is it, like 2:40, or not 2:45, like 1:45 in the morning?
I call shenanigans, because that is not waking up with The Rock.
If you're in the same time zone as him, it is.
Oh, all these ifs and buts.
But, I mean...
Rock butt.
Willie, you're never happy. Quit bitching. It's a fucking awesome app.
I highly recommend it. My workout buddies and I all have it, and we're all excited. Because all of us, like... There's this crazy thing, and we're going to keep talking about The Rock because it's us. There's this crazy thing where we all, like, look up to this guy. He's insanely, like... Because he's such like a good person too, and he does all this charity work, and you follow. If you read his book, you like follow him from the beginning, and it's just like I adore The Rock, and so yes, I do not mind waking up to his voice and screaming at me.
My friend Morgan from work, she's the one that told me about it. She got the app too as soon as it came out, and yeah, I don't know how anybody couldn't admire his work ethic.
How does boyfriend feel about you waking up to The Rock's voice though?
He has just went when I told him that I downloaded it. So
I just thought of a great line for the app. For when you want to wake up rock hard.
Violet.
You killed it. Who's going next for their news? We can't keep on this topic.
I guess I could do mine real quick.
Go for it.
They finalized all the list of the DC. Trying to think of the name of the new universe, the new creative launch, Rebirth. So
we just lost Naki. She stopped caring.
Yeah. So
now I'm playing Bloodborne. Screw you
New
guys.
52, knew this, knew that. Now it's Rebirth. They locked in all the creative teams. They had a bunch of it out in the previews last month, but some of the books weren't finalized yet. So now they have the final list of everything. So we've got like Dan Jurgens is going to be writing Action Comics, Justice League. Let's see, I think one of the Batman titles are all going to start shipping twice monthly. So a lot of them have rotating art crews. You'll have one writer and like 3 artists. So basically, you're going to keep getting rotating art throughout the book to help them maintain the twice monthly shipping. Most of it's a lot of the same names that you're used to. One that was a little surprising, Brian Hitch, the artist from Marvel's Ultimates, is actually going to be writing the Justice League. So it'll be interesting to see how Hitch actually does as a writer that's not the artist on the book. Dan Abbott is going to be on Aquaman and Titans, so those should both at least be well written. I don't know the artist that's going to be on Aquaman. It says Walker, Jesus Marino, and Phil Briones. I've never seen any of those guys, so I don't know about the art.
As in
Brett
Texas
Booth will
Ranger?
No, it just says Walker. Like his full name, like I guess he's like Madonna. He's just Walker. And then Titans will be Brett Booth, so it'll be action packed and have crazy proportions. But Brett Booth's a hell of an artist. Harley Quinn is going to keep going forward with Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor. Art by Chad Harden and John Timms, and it will ship twice monthly in August, but it just says in August, so I don't think that those are going to continue with the twice monthly shipping. Same thing with the Suicide Squad. Dan Jurgens is going to be writing Batman Beyond, so we should be seeing the return of Terry McGinnis in that book. This is the big thing they're toting. It'll be cool to see what Dan Jurgens does with that. The only book, though, like over the whole list, is a lot of good writing teams, a lot of good art teams. The only thing I added back to my pull list is Nightwing, because I own every Nightwing comic that's ever been published, and Tim Seeley is going to be able to actually write Nightwing and not Dick Grayson goofy-ass super spy. So I will be picking up Nightwing again, and that's got Javi Fernandez and Marcus Toe doing the artwork, shipping twice in July. And yeah, I love it because the first arc is titled Better Than Batman. And it's not that Nightwing is going to say that he's better than Batman. It's Nightwing getting a new mentor who's training him and basically showing him that everything Batman taught him is wrong and there's better ways to do things. So it sounds like a really cool idea for a storyline to have somebody come in to teach Dick Grayson and have a better teacher than Batman. So I'm excited to see what Tim Seeley's going to do with that storyline.
So I went from having one DC title on my pull list to two now. It is All-Star Batman and it is Nightwing.
Nice. Because you were reading the Batman Beyond, though, before, right?
I quit when they killed Terry.
Okay, see, and I didn't even know they killed him. I knew that there was a question about who was in the suit now.
It was Tim Drake in the suit. I stopped caring. Tim Drake from the past got flung into the future and was in the suit trying to pretend to be Terry to all the bad guys, and I was like, nope, bail.
Oh, so it was young Tim Drake?
Yep.
Huh. I guess it's a retelling of Dick Grayson taking over as Batman for a while for Bruce. Kind of redoing that story.
It was stupid. I really enjoyed it when Kyle Higgins was writing the book. That was the highlight of the Nightwing books in recent memory. I will go and check it out now if it is, in fact, Terry back.
Yeah, that's what it says. It says it's going to be Terry McGinnis back in the suit, so.
Interesting. Yeah, so go to your local comic book shop. Check out all of the stuff coming with DC Rebirth.
I did.
Oh.
Did you add anything to your pull list, Willie?
I have never had a pull list. I just go in there and buy what I want. I'm a bad comic book guy.
No, that's not bad as long as you're reading stuff.
That just means you're not a collector because there's a chance you'll miss issues.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. If you're fine with that, yeah, there's nothing wrong with buying your comics that way. I know plenty of people that just go into the shop, they pick up what they see on the wall. If they miss something, they miss something. If you don't want to ever miss an issue, though, you need a pull list.
You never really will miss an issue because you can always go and buy them digitally for the most part, too.
That's not the same thing as owning the physical copy. It's
I
not
don't
the
have
same.
to own a physical copy forever. I have it in the short term, and then I don't have it in the long term.
You're weird.
I give a lot of mine to hospitals, honestly.
Yep.
Other than, like, my Turtles books and my Lock and Key books and my Saga books, which even Saga I don't collect individually anymore. I give to the hospitals because why do I need it? They just sit in that box back there.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I am too. But we should probably start to wrap up News of the Week and start wrapping up the show soon because we're running out of time. Willie, I have to ask, I said at the top of the show, I read your news story for News of the Week and it just said doing dumb things, and I'm super intrigued with what your news is about doing dumb things.
Me?
That's what it says is in the show notes is Willie Nelson doing dumb things.
I didn't type anything.
Somebody did.
Maybe that's from last week and I didn't clean it up. I don't know. That's pretty damn funny.
I didn't type it. I haven't had internet, so I have no news stories to tell. I've been living under a rock.
So I guess what we can do then is really, did you go and see a certain little indie flick that came out this week called Captain America: Civil War?
Yeah, it's a shame they killed off everybody in that year. I'm just kidding. So I saw last night.
I guess that's how we can wrap up the show, is in our traditional ATGN fashion. We do not spoil the movie the first weekend it is out. We will talk spoiler-free on this episode. Next week we can spoil the ever-living crap out of Captain America: Civil War. But what I want to ask you guys before we start the discussion, Team Cap or Team Iron Man? Go.
Team Iron Man.
Team Cap.
Yeah.
Team Iron Man.
Jesus, why?
Chris and Naki are wrong. And especially if you've seen the movie, you know you're wrong.
Well, no. This is not at all like the comic. There's a clear right and wrong side to things. That's part of what's so good about Civil War, is there's not a clear right and wrong side to this.
There really isn't, and boyfriend and I decided that if the reason that we're breaking up is that he's Team Cap and I'm Team Iron Man in this.
Good boyfriend.
Yeah. Fight the power.
So, but I at the end I'm still Team Iron Man. Sorry.
Really?
I am.
You know what locking up people because you're afraid of them is, right? That's
Tony
Japanese
Stark
internment camps.
Tony Stark did not lock the people up in this movie. Let's make that clear.
He agreed with the people that wanted to lock people up.
Mike said he didn't agree with it, basically.
I was gonna say he didn't. He said I don't agree with the
lock
lockup.
He's a coward.
Exactly.
He did not stand up for his friends.
He was still doing it. It doesn't matter if he was the one actually doing it. He was part of it.
So you shouldn't put people who break the law into jail.
He put Wanda Maximoff in jail.
The law is what's wrong here. That's what we're discussing.
I don't dispute that potentially. Potentially.
Potentially.
So here's the thing: is that they were given. I can't. It's hard to talk about this without being spoiled.
Yeah, the issues behind the Sokovia Accords you can't really get too far into without going into spoilers, which we kind of want to avoid.
So, in my non-spoiler review, I loved it. There was problems with it, but I still loved it, and I'm still Team Iron Man at the end.
I feel really bad for Tony.
I give it a 10 out of 10.
I do too. I feel awful for Tony. I feel so bad for him.
This is the first time in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that Robert Downey Jr. has had to play Tony so differently. He is a damaged Tony who has regrets on things, and he's not always just the happy-go-lucky, quippy Tony. This is a Tony that has genuine remorse for things, and you feel bad for at times. And I totally want to say... He did a great job. I guess I have to say this is one very minor spoiler. Before I saw the movie Thursday night, I bet one of my buddies, I said, I bet you he's going to hit on Aunt May, and he totally did.
I didn't know that Marissa Tomei was being Aunt May in this.
Yeah, let's be honest.
Aunt May is fucking hot now.
You would not have hit on Aunt May in this movie.
I would have hit on Aunt May in this movie.
We all would have hit on Aunt May.
I've seen Aunt May's boobs.
I have too. I have also seen Aunt May's boobs.
Oh, Aunt May is hot now. I'm so conflicted.
Boyfriend and I were actually talking about that, like, Aunt May is not an old lady with gray hair. I'm so confused.
During sex, you still call her Aunt May?
In all fairness, 19-year-old Tom Holland playing 16-year-old Spider-Man looks like he's fucking 12.
But he was a great Spider-Man.
He is. I love it. I say if we don't get 6 movies out of him, it's disappointing.
Well, I have no idea what the deal is he signed.
I don't care. They need 2 trilogies out of that kid before he stops being Spider-Man, because he's fucking great.
So, okay, just in case anybody hasn't seen this movie yet by the time that this airs or whatever, like if you listen to it on your podcast or listing or whatever, just know that there's 2 scenes after the credits.
Yes.
Well, and that's always been Marvel's thing, isn't it?
Except for in Ultron. Age of Ultron there were no post-credits scenes.
Yeah, so it's just... Make sure you stick around for 2 credit scenes, not just 1.
Marvel's trained people. They know to stay regardless.
You would think people would know, but there were so many people leaving the theater after I saw that movie. I was like...
You know what I call them? Non-believers.
Not true believers. Excelsior.
I like what I said better, but whatever.
Fair enough. I was doing a Stan Lee reference with True Believer.
Yeah.
So, I guess the best way to put this... For me, I can't rank it yet. It's too fresh in my mind. I greatly enjoyed it, but if I had to rank it, it's certainly within probably the top 4 or 5 Marvel movies. So for me, probably the top 3. I'm not sure whether I like Winter Soldier more than Civil War or not, and I probably have to go and rewatch Civil War before I can tell you.
Well, and the tough thing is that those 3 movies, the Cap movies, so build upon each other in such a great way that it's hard to not like the newest one.
No, okay, so we were talking about that one too, is that Cap 1, you really only need 5 scenes from that movie, and that's it. You don't really need to see the whole thing.
You need more of it once they made Hydra be the big bad. That was part of it.
Kind of, but still, you could get away with only seeing the 5 major scenes of that movie, and you'd be okay.
Yeah, but it's still a fun movie.
I slept through it.
I love Tommy Lee Jones as a general kicking ass is awesome. And I love Damien Dark as fucking Dum Dum Dugan.
I prefer Winter Soldier by far over the first Captain America.
Well, I think everyone does. I mean, let's be honest. It's a completely different thing. Part of the problem with the first Avengers was a period piece used to set up the Avengers.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's a problem with it. That was why it was well done.
But part of why Winter Soldier and Civil War can be so successful is it's built upon the backs of all those other Marvel movies.
Yeah.
And I would say Civil War is probably one of the first Marvel movies that if you went and saw it blind, you wouldn't know a bunch of the backstory. It might not be that big an issue, but you wouldn't understand some of the relationships between people and things like that. Because
you wouldn't know why Steve Rogers fights so hard for Bucky.
Yeah, which I have issues with, and we can talk about next week.
Yeah, I was going to say I had a lot of issue with that.
I do have one thing to say. They did say this is a Cap movie, not an Avengers 2.5. I'm going to disagree with that statement. It is not an Avengers 2.5. It's more of a Cap and Iron Man story.
Yes, you could have very well, and this is a slightly trollish statement, called this movie Captain America v Iron Man, because that's pretty much what it was. Robert Downey Jr.
called this Dawn of Justice too.
Oh God! No.
Did you guys see my review?
No.
I did put my review up for Doug Loves Movies Challenge. I gave it 10 out of 10, and I said Captain America Civil War is everything DC wanted Batman vs. Superman to be, wasn't, and should have been, if they'd have done it right.
Yeah. It's a very good flick. If you have not seen it, we greatly encourage you to go and see it, then come back next week so we can spoil the ever-living crap out of it.
And it's definitely worth seeing it in the theater on the big screen. It is super pretty, and the action shots are amazing.
I liked how went to go see Batman v Superman, fell through the plot hole, and landed on the solid concrete that is Captain America.
I think one of the best comments I saw in the comment section on an article at comicbookmovie.com, I think, was, I was really enjoying this movie until my wife leaned over when Iron Man and Cap are fighting and goes, I wonder if their moms' names are Martha. And I just lost it when I read that.
I think the joke that I saw that's similar was, wait, don't they both have a best friend named James?
Yeah.
I did shame the girlfriend a little bit because she was like, "Oh wait, never mind. Next week, next week."
Yeah, no spoilers.
Careful.
No spoilers. So we're gonna wrap
Don't look
this
at the
up.
back of the pop box.
We're gonna wrap this up. Yeah, don't look at the back of the Funko Pops either, because that actually did spoil
That
me.
was
That
too
was the
late.
only spoiler I had going in. So we're gonna wrap this up and say Civil War. If you haven't seen it yet, go and see it. We greatly encourage it. Everyone on Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. this morning was gushing about it as well. Go see it. Come back next week. Listen to us spoil the crap out of it, and listen to the latest episode of Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. where they go through a spoiler-filled review as well. You will have a lot of fun.
I'll be
It's
here
worth your
defending
time.
all your guys' problems with it.
I'll be here with you.
I had 2 problems with it, and we'll talk about it next week.
It's okay to have problems with movies. I mean,
Yeah, I accept. That's the thing.
nothing
is
will
that-
be perfect.
Well, my
I-
problem is your team Iron Man. That's my problem.
Well, no.
That
See,
is the first problem.
See, I've made this statement before. I accept that a lot of things are problematic. It's just how much am I willing to deal with it is how far I'll go. And Civil War, I obviously dealt with it, and it's not a problem, but it is a problem.
Yeah, I mean, if they can balance a cast of 12 different superheroes, basically,
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
super concerned about any minor quibbles I might have had. Let's put it that way.
And done amazingly. Do you guys think any one character didn't get the right amount of screen time?
We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, we'll save it for next week.
But yeah, just the fact that it's even questionable means they did an amazing job with a huge fucking cast. Because there's a lot of goddamn superheroes running around this movie.
We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, we'll talk
Let's go
about it
with
next week. Yeah, that's the best bet. So let's start wrapping this episode up. We got about 6 minutes to do so. We got a little bit we do each week called What I'm Into. It's our chance to share with our listening audience, both live in the Peanut Gallery and listening at a later date, then the geeky and nerdy stuff we're getting into and maybe convert you to our side. And I'm going to go first because I don't really have much new. I'm still replaying Bioshock Infinite on my PC again because I love the crap out of that game. And I'm trying to get caught up on TV shows, and that's about it for me. So, Willie, what have you been getting into, sir? What you planning on getting into?
Well, since Naki said the magic word earlier, I did pick up Volume 2 of Lock and Key.
Yeah!
Nice.
I've been holding off on getting that. I also got, because I was at comic book day, so I was like, yeah, let me go get some stuff. Mark Miller's Chrononauts, the trade paper.
I've heard that one's good. I've heard about that one.
I was on a Mark Millar kick, and also Superior.
Oh,
I've also heard
Superior's
of that one.
awesome.
Oh, no, I did read that
It's
one.
awesome. And then everything that's not part of Free Comic Book Day, I got 5 Howard the Ducks, the new series.
Nice.
Because, me and Howard the Duck. And I'm not going to show every single one, but this all came from Free Comic Book Day. About
Very
38
nice.
comics.
Nice.
And other than that, no internet sucks. So I've still been playing Bully, working, sleeping, gaming,
Well, we hope you get your internet soon, if only so that you
hopefully
can get
Tuesday.
back on PSN.
Oh, and then also Tuesday, I hope I get Tuesdays. I'm off Tuesday because something else comes out Tuesday. Does anyone know what game comes out Tuesday?
Does the new Uncharted come out on Tuesday?
Yeah, I was
Ding,
going to say
ding, ding.
Uncharted 4 comes out.
We got a winner.
The new Who Charted, huh?
Hey,
Who sharded?
Who
sharded?
you guys suck.
I'm
Some
gonna
of
go
the
play
best
in my room by
Team
myself.
Xbox.
That's the best games on the PlayStation. Fuck y'all.
Naki, what have you been getting into?
I'm currently reading Star Wars: A New Dawn, which is the prequel to Rebels. Speaking of which, I have Rebels. See, there it is. Season 1. Going through
Nice.
that. I have also been playing Bloodborne, which is frustrating and angering, but fun nonetheless. I still enjoy. And then I bought a tablet yesterday, so I got that going for me. It was on sale over at Verizon, and I need a new tablet because my other one bit the dust. I bought a Samsung Galaxy Tab E, and it was on sale, so yay! It was happy time for Naki. On top of that, today I'm cooking like crazy. I'm making green eggs and ham casserole for my mom, which is spinach, broccoli, Canadian bacon, in a casserole with eggs. And then I'm also making cheese stuffed croissants, which are currently in the oven and possibly burning.
What kind of cheese?
Damn it, Naki, now I'm hungry.
It's brie with garlic and herb.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Some of them are also wrapped with hot dogs because I ran out of cheese.
Wait, you wrap the croissant in a hot dog?
Yeah, so you take a hot dog and you wrap a croissant around it?
Oh, you wrap the
That's
croissant
not
around
what
the
you
hot
said.
dog.
You said you
So-
wrapped the croissant in a hot dog.
Oh, sorry.
It's like,
Yoda.
We're trying to figure out how the hell you wrapped a hot dog around a croissant and cooked it.
I'm channeling my inner Yoda. Also, last night, boyfriend and I watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 and realized how terrible that movie is.
Oh,
How did you not realize
was it Lost
that?
in Time? Is that what that one is?
That was the one. That movie is racist as fuck. Let me
Well,
tell you.
yeah. But it's
I didn't
awesome.
realize it as a kid, and then like as an adult, I'm like, holy shit, this is racist.
Or not even
Awful.
racist, just how bad the story is.
It's terrible. It's fucking terrible. I'm like, oh, my turtle heart. So, yeah, that's what I got into this week.
How about you, Anthony? What'd you get into?
Made it to Free Comic Book Day. I showed you those. While I was there, I did have to spend a couple of dollars at my local Hastings. So I found a nice reference book that they had on clearance for $1 with some really cool martial arts pictures. But then I did go to the Funko Pop section, and we got
Ooh, nice.
What is it?
It's Jean-Baptiste.
Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg. So I got my bad guy from The Fifth Element. And then I think pretty much rounding out all the big horror guys, I finally got the king of the Cenobites himself, Mr. Pinhead.
Nice.
Who looks unbelievably cute and creepy with his giant Funko Pop head with his little pin sticking out of it.
I was gonna say,
And he
I
is
love it.
he is actually holding a Le Marchand Hell box, so it's really cool looking. So yeah, I got those. I've been playing the open beta for Overwatch. I actually could not fucking fall asleep last night. I laid in bed for about half an hour at about 11:30 and said, fuck it. And I turned my PlayStation 4 back on, and I put a podcast in, and I sat and played Overwatch till 3:30 this morning because I couldn't fucking sleep.
That works.
It's the Blizzard version of Battleborn. It plays a lot faster, but it's the whole same concept of like 25 different characters in first-person shooter team matches. It plays a lot different because it's much faster. There's only one type of map, and the main big difference between the two games is that on Overwatch, anytime you respawn, you can change characters, and multiple people can play the same character. So literally, if there's one overpowered character, all 5 people on a team could be playing that one overpowered character, which I haven't seen so far, which is good because it seems like the characters are fairly balanced, and they have 4 different classes of characters where they're basically assault, support, tanks, and just kind of middle ground. But yeah, it's fun. In the long run, I'm not sure if I'd want to buy it over Battleborn, because I think Battleborn has a little more longevity with its story missions, because there's no story, nothing at all involved with Overwatch. It's literally just one type of map, and you attack, and then it just keeps loading. You actually don't have to go back to the queue and start again, and you get bonus XP if you stay with the team that you're on and keep playing over and over and over. And it plays a lot faster. I think I played 40 matches last night versus like it would have been 5 or 6 Battleborn maps that take that amount of time. So it's definitely fun.
Get Bloodborne, and then get angry.
So one last thing.
No, actually, we're moving forward with the Pacifist, and I can't say anything for sure yet, but there's a company that's talked about possibly licensing the game. So I'm not buying Battleborn, and I'm not buying any more video games at least until the end of June. I got about 8 weeks to at least finish up our promo deck, and basically, yeah, I'm not working out for the wedding or Halloween anymore, so I'm going to come home and do an hour of drawing every night, basically until the end of June, because I got to get these fucking cards done. But if I do, yeah, they might be coming out on a really, really nice Kickstarter backed by a really cool company.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh. Awesome.
One last cool note before we get out of here. The next wave of Star Wars Funko Pops was shown online. There's some cool stuff coming.
They're trying to take all my money.
One of which is Jedi Master Luke Skywalker from the end of Force Awakens, which I am totally getting. And Mark Hamill said it was one of his favorite Funkos he'd seen on Twitter. So I will mention that. But we are going to wrap up this show now. I'm only 2 minutes behind schedule right now, which is pretty impressive for us.
That is.
We're getting out here early.
Don't forget, you can find us each week live on Sunday at 11 a.m. over at Geeks.live or Channel 3 of Alpha Geek Radio. The next show you can watch on Geeks.live is Monday night. It is the official GonnaGeek.com podcast, which starts at approximately 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time. So go and check it out. But on that note, I think we're going to start getting out of here. Any last thoughts from you guys?
Remember, a late Willie is better than no Willie.
I have no way to counter that, so I guess we're going to get out of here. Team Iron Man.
Team Cap.
Team Iron Man.
Cap.
Iron
Team
Man.
Cap, if you're a decent
Iron Man.
human.
Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, Channel 3 of the Alpha Geek Radio app, and over at our network home at GonnaGeek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@GonnaGeek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at Incompetech.com. And we made it almost on time. Naki.
We did it.
Look at
Thank
that.
you. I appreciate it. I gotta go now.
All right. Bye, Naki.
Bye, Nagi.
Bye.
Guys, I have one question.
All right.
Yeah.
When oh wait, we're still live. I'll wait till we're gone.
Fair enough. Live viewers, which is pretty much Suncast, we'll see you next week, hopefully. And I think Suncast is guesting on Suncast on the GonnaGeek.com podcast tomorrow night. So I'll see you then, Suncast.
Woo!
Now I'm all caught up on bagged and boarded episodes, and that show's done. I can get